We often need to repeat actions. For example, outputting goods from a list one after another, or just running the same code for each number from 1 to 10. So loops are a way to repeat the same code multiple times. In JavaScript we have three most popular and most used loops. It's while, do while, and for. So let's start from the while loop. While loop has the next structure. We have while, special word, then condition. In result it should be true or false, boolean, and inside we have code, so-called loop body. The code will be executed multiple times. So let's create some sample and take a look how it looks. So we have our variable I, it's 0, and while less than 3 we will call alert. And don't forget, inside during the loop we will increment this value to stop this cycle. Let's run it. 0, 1, 2, that's it. So I was incremented and the cycle was stopped when I was less than 3. It means while this part is true, the cycle will be executed. So I was 0, 0 less 3 is true, section is executed, but when we got 3, 3 isn't less than 3, and we stop executing this cycle. So, and don't forget to add this operator of increment, because in case we will remove it, the cycle won't be never stopped, because I wasn't incremented and the section condition always will be true. In browser we can stop it easily, but I don't recommend you to skip this part. Any expression or variable can be a loop condition, not just comparison. As I mentioned before, the condition is evaluated and converted to a boolean by while. So in case we have I3 and just I its number, but when we decrement this I, in the result we will have boolean variable, and when it will be 0 it will be stopped. So let's go to the next cycle. It's do while. So the condition check can be moved below the loop body using do while syntax. So we see that we have loop body and then we have condition. The difference between these cycles is that in this case body will be executed at least one time. Even if condition will be false, your cycle body will be executed once. For the previous cycle, if condition is false on the beginning, the body of cycle won't be executed at all. So let's take a look how it looks in real life. So we have I0, then we execute our cycle body, increment it, and check if I was less than 3. Let's run. The same result, but what will be in case we have 5, for example? We see that at least one body was executed. We alerted 5. And the last, the for loop, is more complex, but it's also the most commonly used loop. So let's take a look. So we have beginning, initial value, then condition, and we need some step. Let's learn the meaning of these parts by example. I will show you a loop. So we have 3 parts. The first one, they are split by semicolon. The first one is a beginning, executes once when we entering the loop, so it's initial values. Then condition, we have condition to stop, checks before every loop iteration. So what is iteration? A single execution of the loop body is called iteration. The loop in the example makes 3 iterations. For example, while I is less than 3, we need 3 times to execute to stop this cycle. Then in this cycle we have body, it's alert I, and we have step. Step is incrementing I. So on each iteration we will call this step, we will increment I, and we will do it while I is less than 3. Let's run it. The same as 2 previous cycles. So what I want to mention is also this let I. So as you see, we declared I variable with initial value inside the loop. So here's a counter variable I is declared right in the loop. This is called inline variable declaration. Such variables are visible only inside the loop. So in this case, you can use variable name I because of it won't be visible on any other part of your code. Also, what I want to mention about for cycle is skipping part. So any part of for can be skipped. For example, begin can be skipped if we don't need to do anything at the loop start. For example, in case we have already declared I, we can skip this part and then just use two parts of cycle for. The same result. The next what we can skip step, the last part step. Let's take a look on this sample. We have I was declared before. Inside body we increasing I, and we need just condition I is less than 3. Let's run it. The same result. Also, we can skip even this condition. The cycle will be repeats without limits, so it will be endless cycle. So I would not recommend you to run it in case you don't know how to stop execution of the cycle. But how we can stop it? We can break the loop. To do it, we can use special word break. For example, let's rewrite this cycle with break word. So let's try how it works. And we will show the I value. So let's try and let's run. And as you see, this cycle was executed 200 times and it was stopped when break when I was bigger or equal to 100. And we stop the cycle. Another sample, when we can continue, we can skip some iterations. For example, if we do not want to show I for all numbers, we can skip execution for some numbers. To do it, we can use continue special word. So the continue directly is a lightweight version of break. It doesn't stop the whole loop, instead it stops the current iteration and forces the loop to start a new one. So let's take a look. Let's combine them, and so in our case we will execute just every other iteration. Let's run it. In this case we need move increment ball because of it wasn't executed and we didn't increment I. So let's run again. So after that, when we moved increment above the condition, above the continue part, let's run it, and we see that it is executed every other iteration. So summary, while we're using the condition is checked before each iteration, so if condition wasn't executed, the cycle won't be executed at all. Do while the condition is checked after each iteration, it means that at least once this cycle will be executed, and for the condition is checked before each iteration, additional settings available. So it's this case, and we can skip any part of this cycle.